Oh,
it got our own Brian Windhorst thinking of the unbreakable records in NBA history. So let's head up the Tower of Power, shall we, Brian?
A few things before we start here. Number one, it's not for the active guys. Steph's threes could be on here. LeBron's points could be on here. LeBron's consecutive games of double digits, which is 1,200 and growing. Okay, just before you get mad. All right, let's start with number 5. John Stockton's 15,000 assists. Okay, just to put this in perspective, Chris Paul recently passed Jason Kidd to become the number 2 all-time in assists. Chris Paul, 20 years into his career, is closer to 10th place than he is to Stockton in first. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I don't think we're getting to this record. Number 4. Hakeem Olajuwon career blocks, okay? He's got almost 4,000. Now, David's already looking at me sideways because he's thinking about victory. I'm going to talk about that in a second. First off, let me say this. Hakeem is got 500 more than Dikembe Mutombo, okay? His lead on number 2 is second. Rest in peace, Dikembe. Dikembe is closer to 9th than he is to first, okay? So, as for Victor Wembanyama, yeah, maybe he needs to keep up this pace for 16 more years to tie him. Okay.
Wow.
Now, this is a special one, and this one is almost untouchable. Rasheed Wallace's 41 technical fouls in 2001.
Oh, Draymond has a challenge.
Now, listen.
Come on, Dre.
He got ejected from 18 games that season. I don't know how many he had in the postseason. We got to add that together. Nowadays, you get ejected or you get suspended at 16 because they wanted to prevent this. He said he used to put a bunch of money aside at the beginning of the season for fines, and then at the end, he would just have a party if he had any left over. So, all right, here's one that's
Hold on. Ball don't lie, Brian. Don't forget that.
Okay. That's also historic.
Yes.
Okay. Moses Malone's record for offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds, Moses Malone is untouchable. Now, we're just going to count his NBA totals. But if you count his ABA totals, which frankly you should, he's got like 3,000 more than anybody in second place. Artis Gilmore is in second place. Artis is no longer getting offensive rebounds, and he's 2,500 ahead in offensive rebounding. All right, number 1.
Okay.
Wilt Chamberlain's the entire 1961-62 season. We're going to go with 3 stats here that ain't going to be touched. 1, he averaged 50 points a game that season. All right? The closest was Michael Jordan is the closest ever. He got to 37. No one's really even gotten close to Jordan 37, really. That's not getting touched. Also, that year, he took 39.5 shots a game.
Oh, my God.
39.5. He averaged. No one's ever even gotten to 30. That was Elgin Baylor. 48.5 minutes per game. He averaged more minutes than was available. He never got substituted the entire season.
Oh, my God.
The only time he missed games when he got ejected with 8 minutes left, he played in 7 overtime games. No one is averaging 48.5 minutes per game ever. I can put that on ice.
All right. There's a lot of Wilt records. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Let's just leave it at that. David, is anything he's missing?
Well, first of all, I didn't know Tom Thibodeau was Wilt Chamberlain's coach in 162. I know you're talking about past players, but in terms of the record that I think is just as unbreakable, I know how you feel about it, is LeBron getting to 50,000 points.
Well, he's still playing, David.
He's still playing. Whatever he ends up with, the number he ends up with is not going to be touched by anybody. I mean, you think about how he's like 8,000 more than Kareem right now. And so whatever he ends up with will be a record that nobody is going to come close to throughout their entire careers. Even if you start in high school like he did and play 20 years, LeBron at the level that he's playing right now, it's an untouchable record.
Agreed.
Let's get caught up on the news around the league. It's time for Ramona's Report, starting in San Antonio. Take it away, Momo.
Well, I was in San Antonio last week, and Stephon Castle had the game of his young career, 32 points. And this is actually interesting because he has come off the bench since they acquired De'Aaron Fox. But the last 6 games, averaging 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, is clearly going to be the Rookie of the Year. And I think when you look at his development this year, I know they're not playing for much after Victor Wembanyama went down with that blood clot, but his development in the last month has been really something to write
He's playing for a lot for me. He's on my fantasy team.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go. All right, Ramona, how about Boston?
Well, Kristaps Porzingis hasn't played since February 26th. He has a mysterious viral illness. Now, he's been around the team. He shows up. He's getting workout every day. But, he was listed. He sat on the bench last Thursday. yesterday. He was listed as questionable for the game against the Lakers. Then he kind of went backwards on Monday when he was listed as doubtful for the game against Utah. And so they really have no idea when he's going to come back. Somebody said maybe today's the day, and another person I talked to said we really have no idea where he stands.
All right, Ramona, what's the report in Philly?
Well, when we were talking about the Sixers at the beginning of the year, that we were talking championship, then when things got off to such a terrible start, they were just trying to win 35 games and get into the play-in. Now the goal, keep your pick. It's top 6 protected. Paul George out with a groin injury. Tyrese Maxey's been out with a back injury the last 5 games. They're tied with Brooklyn and Toronto for the 5th through 7th worst records in the league. They're playing Toronto coming up, so this game has implications for that side of the tanking order. If they keep their top 6 pick, if not, it goes to Oklahoma City.
I mean, we were talking about Phoenix a moment ago.
Oh.
Philly's way worse, in my opinion, that situation. All right, we'll be on the lookout in those 3 cities, Ramona. Thanks again. All right, let's bring in Windy and David back here into the fold and play a round of this or that. I'll give you 2 options. You tell me which one you're taking, all right? Jazz Celtics last night. Who had the best move here on Walker Kessler? This Jaylen Brown poster or that Derek White crossover? David.
You know, I'm always going to go with the poster, man. Jaylen Brown. Ooh, even though
that crossover was nice.
Derek White.
That was nice.
I'm still going to go with the Jaylen Brown dunk. Dunks are always a little bit better, even though.
Enough.
Oh, my God. He almost took it.
I think you doubted yourself there. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right, next.
I don't shame guys who play defense.
Which move are you taking? This Luka Magic?
Oh, come on.
Or this or that LaMelo step back, Ramona?
I'm going to go with Luka because that was in traffic. LaMelo could do that in his sleep.
Yeah.
That was
Behind the back in traffic.
And takes the bump.
Yeah, that was a great play by Luka.
Although Tyler Hero skates right there. That angle helps you out a little more,
He
though.
recovered. He
The
did a
Heat
good
need
job.
to start winning some games here.
Yeah, that's fair.
4 in a row.
All right, next. Which poster did you like better? This, Jonas Valanciunas on Anunoby, big fella, or that Dalton Connect on Nick Claxton?
Gotta
Come
go
on.
connect.
Yeah.
No offense, Jonas, the big man dunking, but
Yeah, I mean, the big man doesn't have to go that far. I mean, he threw down the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a dunker, too. On a block shot.
Yeah. And then finally, did you see this Draymond alley-oop to Gary Payton last night?
Gary Payton career high.
Shout out to GP.
2.
Or the iconic Miami Heat pick from 2010. There's only one right answer.
Come on.
Come on now.
I will fight
Come
you
on.
all.
I'm going to say Draymond and Gary Payton just to get you riled up.
That's
Just
it.
because I want you to go a little crazy. Flip a table,
Iconic.
Chicago. Flip a table.
Don't even get
There you go.
started.
Keep your clothes on.
Drop the mic.
There, I see, that's what happens.
That's what you get for acting like a fool.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. If I'm going to try to wear, I pull up all brain. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, it's